Welcome to a couple of bronze badasses. That's right, folks. You are not seeing an illusion. That is us at the very top of the Bronze League.
We're in the big leagues now.
Well, good afternoon, Sherlock.
And good afternoon, Ultim.
All right, we have another game for you. The game that actually brought us to first place.
It was a fun and interesting game.
A lot of things go on. Watching the replay, it looked like we had a lot more control than we realized during the game, which means we need to up our spine a little bit.
It was still a bit sloppy, though, especially in my part. They get a couple of cheap blows in.
Well, you'll notice that I have switched away from my Protoss to my Zerg. After a few frustrating games earlier, where we're just getting outmassed, I decided, you know what? Zerglings, 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 send them all in to be killed, have 6 hatcheries, replace every Zergling.
I was also changing my build a little bit. The mech build that I was messing around with last week was just seeming too slow, so I ended up switching over the factories to starports so I can build some medevacs to back up my marines. It seemed to work out pretty good. I was enjoying it a lot. Some giant armies going out there, and the medvacs keep them alive through anything.
Especially with the stim pack. The fact that you can stim pack and basically not have any side effects from it, it's a little OP when you're just trying to go mass v mass. Especially when I take the 1,000 Zerglings in and soften up their army, so you can just come sweeping in.
And it's a lot easier to rebuild those when they get destroyed than waiting the minute and a half or whatever it takes for Thor to come out.
Thor is here. It just takes too damn long to get him here. Oh, you know what we didn't try is the dance macro. We should make a video with us doing the dance macro, Sherlock.
Ah, dang it. Yeah, no, I did that in some of the earlier videos, but yeah, I forgot about it towards the evening as the games went on.
I am going to fast forward here a little bit. It's basically just basic spans. Go for an early pool, go for an early hatchery, just so I can mass the Zerglings. Our overall goal is just to trap them inside the space.
Yeah.
Let them build any unit they want.
3 bases between the two of them and nothing more for them is the goal.
Correct, and we'll just slowly whittle down the resources, try to bailing down the front door. Most of the people we play when we use the strategy is they tend to tech air, so I just tech Mutalisks, and nothing stops 30 Mutalisks.
No, 30 Mutalisk is pretty devastating against any air force. I also have been remembering this week to throw down my towers so I can detect the air and stealth.
Yeah, anti-air is very helpful, especially when we force them to build air units to try to sneak into our bases.
A little bit rougher on the resource curve with the heavy marines that I've been doing, but it's not too bad.
And usually we've also taken the habit of feeding each other resources as needed. He'll feed me gas later for Mutalisk push, and early on with the sheer number of drones I have, I'll give him extra minerals to build those towers.
It worked out really well. Nice complement between the two races here.
Yeah, we are definitely liking it. Enemy is still not pushed out for an expand. I usually let them try to dedicate a little bit of resources to an expand before I push out and try to stop that expansion. This allows me to get my drones built up so my economy can just instantly replace the Zerglings. It only takes about 12 or 15 if they forget to bring Marine back up, and then boom, they're out 400 resources. Not only that, it forces them to turtle up, which is perfect for our strategy.
Yeah. Interesting thing to note is anyone watching this should keep an eye on that lower left-hand corner where they should have taken a base already.
And they are not, especially with the Zerg player. That Zerg should have been all up in that base.
Yeah.
I won't do that again, sorry.
Good. Yeah, that's nothing to say on that.
Nothing to say on that, alright. You should be expanding to your second base soon, I believe, dropping some mules. No fear of stealth for a little bit longer. So, while we wait, why don't you tell us a joke, Sherlock?
What's the best part about necrophilia?
Ooh, we went to this one. What?
You don't have to bring the flowers. Da-dun-da!
And that's why no one watches our videos. Really thought you were going to go with the brown and sticky joke.
Everyone's heard that one.
I guess we'll save that one. Alrighty, well here we go. Enemy trying to bring in a Nexus Worm, which is a little deadly because he has speed, he has Zerglings. About the same number as I will in a second, but I also have Marine backup.
And it does kind of hurt a little bit, though, that it takes a little while for our units to get in place when they bring those in.
That's true, but that's why you got to keep your eyes peeled on the mini-map. There it goes.
Oh, and then my favorite thing about you playing Zerg is happening right now, with the Overlords going to all of their possible expansion bases. This is really, really nice because it really is important to know when they're taking an extra base before, so we can respond quickly.
No, I agree. This way, especially with the whole goal of keep them trapped and just make them burn resources. Right there, they just lost resources, build a Nidus Worm. The only thing I regret is not baneling this wall. It looks like a fun one that it would be fun to baneling.
Looks like it could have done a decent bit of damage with that, yeah.
I used to do more banelings, but I'm usually trying to save up my gas through the Mutalisk push that I usually push out around the 12-13 minute mark, just to counter the air they'll build when they see about 100 Zerglings, which are now moving out with speed. Whee!
Those little buggers can get across the map in no time at all.
You'll notice that Sherlock has greatly improved his base management resources. He has a good number of SCVs, expanding.
I should have had more SCVs ready for the expansion. I've been trying to do that with other matches we've been doing tonight. Build up 5 or 6 before I do the expansion, more than I need in base. That way I can populate new base quickly.
Here, my little Zerglings, surround the Terran, kill the Terran, just make them drain resources. Just drain them, don't let them build up a big army. These Zerglings cost me nothing to replace. As long as I hit my larva injects, it will cost me nothing to replace those Zerglings, where I'm not letting them expand. All the minerals I have here, that's all they have.
And we're over 10 minutes in, and they still haven't taken an expansion for either of them.
Which is just typical bad bronze play. Not like our bronze play, which is why we are #1! #1! Alright, anyway, we're massing up even more and more units. He does manage to get a Nidus Worm stuck in here, but like I said, one medvac in stim packs make these Zergs just melt. Just absolutely melt. If you're going to run Zerg, you do need to micro them in, and you have to surround the units. If you're not going to right-click them into position, they're just going to get picked off by Marines. You might as well not even bother.
Yeah. I may have lost my SCVs, but it doesn't really take that long to replace them.
Especially with the mules.
Mules
We all
are
know
nice.
what a huge fan of mules you are.
Yeah, I've been saving them up so that I can use scans if needed a lot. That seems to help. But, yeah, when I need to rebuild, I'm just going to be dropping a bunch of mules in.
Yeah, like I was saying, his huge fan of mules, donkey shows, anything in that whole animal spectrum.
Proud member of the GFC.
GFC?
Goat Club.
Oh, okay. And apparently we're censoring ourselves now. That's good to know. I know a few little ones I know are watching the video. I say little ones, they're like 13, 14. Shout out if you're watching, listening. Hopefully you subscribe.
Trying to be youth friendly here.
Yeah. Indeed.
With necrophilia jokes.
With necrophilia jokes. Don't tell your parents, kids. Enemy is finally expanded to this little corner at the 12-minute mark. This should be done within the first 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah, that's sloppy Zerg.
What's sloppy is us is we had spies everywhere, but this gold base.
Yeah. That does seem a little bit of an overlook.
Just a tad. We luckily recover from this because we load Mutalisks, and the air just takes them down.
What had happened is you only had so many of the Overlords when I sent them out for us earlier, and then I never thought to go back to it since we already had really good coverage. And there's another base up top, but I figured that was pretty low likelihood, so I wasn't terribly worried about that when we ran out of Overlords.
Yeah, not to mention I have a little Zergling hiding there for that one.
Yeah, no, I was... That's
Referring to
it.
this one.
Yeah.
He just pointed at the screen, folks, hoping that you can see it.
Well, no, it wasn't for them. It was so that you could actually move the screen over there.
Oh, okay. I would like to mention Sherlock, the man known as the man with the beard. He also has a mustache, and he has twirled the edges out, so he looks kind of like the creepy old guy you'd see that would wear a t-shirt that says free mustache rides.
I lost that shirt.
Did you actually own that shirt?
No.
Okay, that's good. Because you give me mustache rides, I will never get an erection again if I have that visual in my head.
Mission accomplished.
Well, that's gonna just completely end your sex life.
Oh. Oh.
Forever Alone. Every week we will continue our Forever Alone jokes. Where are my Mutalisks? There they are. Do. Oh, look, gold base. We notice our failure, and we come in to correct. You're just not going to stop the Mutalisks, though, and I love that little chain effect. It's more effective than you realize, especially against SCVs, because things just start to fall to pieces.
Yeah, it looks pretty pretty.
Boom, 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 boom. And they're just, yeah. It's really GG at this point, so I'm going to fast forward it a little bit so that we don't bore our audience. The enemy will try to counter with some infestors. He techs layer. Look how late the layer is coming. I'm going pure Zerglings, and I still had layer tech by this point. But hey, this is the game that got us to number 1. We will take it.
Number 1!
We're not sure what we're going to do if we ever do reach silver. We're not sure if we're going to change our name, or if we're going to deliberately
Badass
some games.
Doesn't sound quite right.
No. It's.
We could be Silver Age Sentinels.
No. No.
We'll get back to that one.
Anyway, Terrans, medic, stim, win, make a hole, kill command centers.
So beautiful. Oh, I have a question about the medvacs. Do you know if they heal your Zergs if they're damaged?
They don't. I don't know if there's a way to make them do that, but they do not. I have at least not seen them do it. Well, like I said, the whole point of my Zergling is that they're completely replaceable in almost half a second. One thing I noticed is my drone count was a little low this time around. I mean, look at that. I should have droned up a little bit harder.
Did you lose them at some point, maybe?
I don't think so.
Or were you just...
I
okay.
think I was just really excited to go do this with the Mutalix.
Woo, there goes my third. I got 3 bases up now. Huzzah. And they're still held into their little corner like our game plan was.
He will attempt to sneak infestors in. He will succeed, because we forgot to build detection.
No, I had some detection up in my base, but more importantly, I had actually saved up my energy for such a situation as this.
Yeah. And we will counter it, but I just love this. Infestors are OP. Look at this. Without even unfurling, just blanket the area with Infest and Terran. Look how much damage these things do. And that's free for them. That's just energy cost. No minerals, no gas, free DPS.
That hurts.
It hurts a lot.
But yeah, there we go, and I drop a couple scans since I have the energy.
And
we
chase
hunt
them
them
around. Scan again, and just look how quickly I can replace my army. It just doesn't matter.
Even with the damage, yeah, it doesn't take any time at all for us to replace it, and we're ready to start wiping up their bases.
Well, Sherlock, inappropriate jokes aside, that was our main game for the week. Hopefully you folks enjoyed it. Like I said, we finally reached bronze number 1.
Woo, we're number 1!
I call that a success. Your beard's still freaking me out, and, well, good night, folks.
Good night, all.